to have you here with us on TRT World. So, if Benny Gantz's resignation is the biggest blow to Israeli war cabinet, then I wonder what does it mean for the future of Israeli war plans in Gaza?
Well, I'm not sure it's a major blow for the war cabinet. I think this relieves Netanyahu from having to deal with one of his major opposition, and possibly is a contender for political positioning within Israel. Now he has complete commitment to his extreme right political alliances within his war cabinet and with his government. And he has no pressure inside the war cabinet for changing and altering his directions. So it seems to be that Netanyahu is going to continue down his plans. There is no political plans, as we know, in relations to both Gaza, the West Bank, or Lebanon. And I think we are seeing Netanyahu being very determined with his support in the Knesset from his coalition to continue down this war path. I'm not sure that there will be any change to his war and his continued pounding and multiple massacres that we are seeing in Gaza.
Then, Professor, let me ask you, to what extent do you think Benny Gantz's resignation is reflective of growing divisions within Israel, within Israeli public?
Well, I think the Israeli public is deeply divided. The gap that exists in the society now is tremendous. It was there before the current war in Gaza, but it got to be amplified, and we're seeing this wide open. Usually, again, historically, Israel, whenever it went into war, it went into this unity type of approach. Everybody lined up behind the government. And we're seeing it very clearly that the divisions are so wide politically inside the Knesset between the government and its opposition, and we're seeing it in the streets almost on a daily basis. And I think that is just reflective of where Israel had. It's highly, highly polarized. The divisions, I don't think they are reconcilable in the way that it's possible in any period in the past, and we'll continue to see this type of dynamics play out on the street as well as inside the Knesset on a regular basis.
Now, Professor, I want to talk about the U.S. You mentioned massacres. Of course, massacres are taking place in Gaza on a daily basis, but perhaps the most horrific one was the one that took place in Nusayrat, where more than 200 Palestinians were killed by Israeli forces as they rescued four hostages from the besieged enclave. And this was done with the help of the United States. Now, I'm trying to understand what exactly is the U.S. trying to do here, because now we are hearing reports that the U.S. is requesting a UN Security Council vote. So on the one hand, U.S. is directly helping Israeli forces in Gaza, and on the other, they want the fighting to stop. So what exactly is the U.S. trying to do here?
All politics is local. I think the Biden administration is, on the one hand, looking at the support to Israel from one eye, but on the other, having its eye domestically on the political landscape. It's not a secret that Biden is coming into an election in a few months, and they continue to look at their chances with Trump becoming far more bellicose in terms of his approach and what he wants to do. So there's the domestic landscape is there. The second part is the United States has been, I don't want to say the word complicit, I would say is co-producer with Israel, continue to extend whatever armament that Netanyahu needs, while tangentially trying to put mild pressure on Israel by every once in a while trying to at least provide some cover with some of these horrific, atrocious massacres. I think we have been through that with the Shifa hospital. We have been in a number of these massacres. So it seems that the United States is trying to have it both ways, look domestically and position itself with the electorate for the 2024, while also trying to play this political role of being appearing to be playing a role of a diplomatic approach to try to see if they could bring this to an end. I'm not optimistic that Blinken will make anything happen at this point. The only way is for the United States and Biden to literally say this is it, immediate end to all military supplies, and also ending any logistical support. Much of the logistical support, intelligence support, AWACS, data and material information, all this is providing Israel with the capacity and the oxygen to continue to undertake this mass massacres without worrying that it will be taken into account. And I think that's where we are in relations to the United States position. We're behind Netanyahu. Don't worry, we will cover your flag. But at the same time, we'll have to play this diplomatic game that it's the game with people's lives. It's games with Palestinian lives, but it is a diplomatic game that the United States is playing.
Professor Hatem Bazian, thanks very much for talking to us here on TRT World. Really appreciate your taking out the time.
You're welcome.